Welcome to the Echo Sportscast number 28.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. This week's show touches on high school badminton. As we record, the competition is taking place at West Ferris in Algonquin.
Our spotlight interview is with Titan swimmer Annabelle Jackson, last year's Athlete of the Year and national qualifier, as well as her head coach, Joshua Huard.
Yeah, she qualified for the Nationals this year. I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say about it. We got an update also on the local youth curling team representing the Granite Club at the U20 Nationals in PEI.
In Can-Nip men's basketball playoffs, the green team will take on DeMarco Lucenti in the final set to begin Sunday at Canadore College. We have the semifinal results and video evidence from the weekend.
We also have some great minor hockey action. I went to the U10 NOHA Tournament Champions Final at Double Stinks, and it was against the Temiskaming Puckhounds and Sioux White Knights, and it was a great game.
Well, it's I know the guys that put that on, guys and girls, so it was a really successful tournament. Great to have a tournament of champions in North Bay, so nice to see that. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough weekend for North Bay teams in Tournament of Champions, but some really great efforts and some strong finishes for the year. In the OHL, the Battalion earned the last spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs, beginning with road games against first place Brantford tonight and Sunday, and they'll host back in North Bay for Game 3 and 4 on Tuesday and Thursday.
In the Noge, the Voodoos were swept by Hearst in 4 games despite a valiant overtime effort to finish the season.
We also have some cool background to go with the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame Curling Award going to Jamie Graham.
And our heritage moment is a salute to the Laurentian Ski Hill, celebrating its 100th anniversary. The first club was formed here in the city when it was incorporated in 1925. And
finally, a big shout out to friend of the show and occasional drop-in substitute host, Laura Mady, for capturing the Junior Lakers Senior Women's Championship this past Monday. We have video and evidence of the trophy presentation and a team photo, and I can actually say I got to be there to watch it too. It's really cool seeing women's hockey. I don't think I ever saw a day that my kids, or it wasn't on my thought that my girls would get to experience one day the same fun and stupidity of playing beer league hockey. So good for the girls.
And we have that and more, but first a word from our title sponsor, Source for Sports.
Sports aren't just what we do, they're who we are. Source for Sports North Bay is your advocate, your local support system, and your biggest fan. 1321 Fisher Street has grown from a place where knowledgeable experts can help you find exactly the gear you need, to the hotbed of team uniforms, apparel and fanwear, to a community stronghold for all the things that truly matter to you and your family's sports journey. We love helping you find your first pair of skates, as much as we relish supporting local leagues, teams, and athletes. Wherever your sports journey takes you, make sure you visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street so we can help you along your way.
Well, I'm not having too much luck covering badminton, even though I want to and I like the sport. Today they started at 3 and we're recording, and I didn't get a chance to go out to any of that yet.
Well, I haven't been, I'm sure trying to is that making stuff up for snow days too, or trying to just
No, they're on Wednesdays, and the first, they start in Sturgeon.
Yep.
And then they go to Mattawa.
Okay.
And this week they're here. I think actually one of the days was hosted at Nipissing High School on Nipissing First Nation at Descheny went for the first time. Excellent. And I heard that they're actually talking, because they don't have a whole lot of students, and similar to Odyssey, they might team up and create some teams out of that. So that'd be a nice development.
Yeah, I often wonder about that. I know my kids go to Heritage, or Emmett's the only one there, and that always seemed to be a bit of a, I definitely heard it all the time from the kids, like we're going to move to another school, and a lot of times sports was a driver and population of the school, but that's a great way to be able to do that. I know Sturgeon will sometimes do that, like Northern and the other school there.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah, just a way to get them all to play, and we don't need 12 teams. You just, get a bunch of teams together. It's a great way for them to play.
Yeah, and that might be part of parcel to some other sports, but who knows where that'll go. That's great news. The finals for the NDA is right before Easter. So I have time still to catch up. And maybe next Wednesday, if we record on Thursday, I might actually have some really good action and some results.
Okay.
Well, have you ever been in a competitive swim meet?
I did. No. No, I haven't. I've never been in a competitive swim meet.
I got chased by a snake once in the pond.
Well, that would make you swim fast. I actually used to love going when I was pretending to be a hockey player, trying to train. I loved swimming, so I'd go to the Y in the morning and do laps. So that's about the extent of it. I did swimming lessons as a kid. I got lifeguarded for a bit. I have my bronze cross and all that stuff.
Kidding?
Yeah. But never tried it competitive. It's those kids are such tremendous athletes. I can't wait, for people to hear about Annabelle and everything she goes and the work that puts in. I think the discipline that those kids are taught is definitely an incredible skill because you're getting up early, the work they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting sport. I kind of grew up swimming in creeks and rivers, so I'm not afraid of the water and I'll jump into anything, but I'm not definitely a competitive swimmer, but I definitely respect for those ones. They're in better shape for most athletes.
Yeah. I think it becomes I think you're setting those kids up for a life of success when it comes to health because they're just so used to it. So I always thought it was a great sport to have kids involved in.
So we're going to have an interview here coming up with Annabelle Jackson, who like you said, last year she was Athlete of the Year for the Sports Hall of Fame Awards. And also this year she qualified for the Nationals. And head coach Joshua Huard. And let's go to that interview right now. Today our guests are Annabelle Jackson, a competitive swimmer, and Titans coach Joshua Huard. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Huard.
Huard.
Yeah.
Welcome to the studio.
Thanks.
You're qualified for the Nationals this year?
Yep, I am.
Yeah, when is that?
So the first national meet that I'm going to is in April. Yeah, April at the Canadian Open in Edmonton.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
18, eh? So how long have you been swimming?
I started when I was 8, and then I stopped before COVID, and then I just started again in grade 9.
Oh, that's cool. What are your competitive, what's your favorite style?
It used to be backstroke last year, but this year I'm really digging the freestyle.
Oh, right on. Is she any good?
She's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a good time coaching her.
What makes her a good athlete and good swimmer?
Her dedication, definitely. So I had first met her in December. We had a training camp, and she just really stood out. Even the coach that was running that camp out of the region kind of isolated you a little bit, noticed her underwaters. She just puts extra detail in everything she does, which allows her to get to that level.
Oh, wow. And you were just at a meet this past weekend? Mm-hmm. Developmental meet?
Yeah, definitely.
How did it go?
It was good. I was swimming different strokes that I don't normally swim, like breaststroke a lot. Yeah, it was good though.
So for people that maybe haven't been to swim meets and stuff before, how many races would you have, and what does a day look like when it comes to competition?
So normally we'll have 3 meets or 3 races in a day, and you'll have prelims in the morning. It'll start at 7, and then if you make finals, you'll come back for 6 o'clock at night, and I'll try to get a nap in, but most of the time I don't.
And then as far as the team, how many other athletes would go down, or is it very select, certain athletes go to some meets with the Titans and others are more well attended, or?
With the Titans, pretty much everybody is attending for the most part, except for meets that require qualification times.
Yep.
But we try our best to bring everybody to all of our meets.
Okay.
So we have a few in Toronto where some young kids are coming just a couple of weeks from now.
And what's the maybe travel culture like for competitive swimmers? Are there lots of parents and siblings that come along? Is it a big hotel takeover with the team, or does everybody kind of find their own way?
In the past, it's definitely been the hotel takeover situation. I think since COVID, it's been hard to get everybody under one roof. Okay. But we're slowly gravitating back towards that, and we have been since January. So.
And it used to be team travel, but we don't do that anymore.
everybody goes in their own cars rather than taking a bus. Yeah. And then at least when you're there, you've got the chance to go out and do whatever. You're not kind of trapped by the bus. Sometimes it happens. Okay. No, I'm really curious. I've gotten to spend a lot of weekends at hockey tournaments, and I know we come across other athletes too, and whether it's, seeing dance, gymnastics, or swim stuff happening. So I'm always curious about the overlap in the hotels and what the party culture, I guess, is like, or the kids running around having hotel. I mean, you're obviously now a mature athlete, but the younger ones still probably get up to no good. So. Sometimes.
How many Titan competitive swimmers do you have?
It's a good question. We're currently increasing our numbers still at this point in the season, but last I looked, we were just over 50. And that's not counting the master's program that we're just starting hopefully next week, which will be the start of April. And that should get us maybe another 10 swimmers, so 60 in total, 60 bodies roughly.
Is it an expensive sport other than the travel?
No. I'm going to go with no. When you compare it to hockey and you compare it to gymnastics and other sports, it's very similar. Now, the higher level of an athlete you are, the more expensive it's going to get. You need to pay per race. You have to pay for every meet. But in terms of just training, it's a very good deal, at least with the Titans. Some teams have expensive entry fees. I think for our most novice level, it works out to about $20 a week. And you get 3 hours of pool session with a coach over top of you. You can't even get a lane swim for that price.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's actually not a bad deal.
And what is your training like? What does a typical training schedule in season look like for you? What time are you up in the pool?
Most of the time, it's like we're in the pool by 6 a.m. every morning, except for Wednesdays. And then we have a Saturday morning practice. And then we have practice on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and with weights after that. Yeah.
And so you're a Chippewa student, and you participate in OFSA swimming? Or did I miss that already?
Yeah, this year was my first.
Okay. And then what do you have in terms of like aspirations? What are you looking at? You're going to nationals. You must be on radars for schools and stuff. Are you hoping to continue swimming into that? And maybe give us a peek of where you're looking at, or who's talking to you.
Well, basically, I already committed with Ottawa U.
Okay.
Yeah, I reached out to them in December after our Gatineau meet.
Yep.
And then, so hopefully I'll swim in the Olympics in like 2028.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And what do you know what you want to take in school?
Yeah, I'm going into human kinetics.
Okay.
I want to be a physio after.
Right. And who got you into swimming? Where did you start?
I've always been like a water baby and like in the water all the time.
Yeah.
But I had this one swimming lesson, and then the like instructor like suggested that I like go on the swim team. So ever since then, yep.
Personal best times and I have no idea.
So my favorite event is the 50 free and short course. Just in OFSA, I went 26.14, I think, which I think qualifies me for the trials, or I don't know. I think it's champs. I'm not sure, but it wasn't an official time, so. Like, it's not sanctioned in Swim Ontario, so it doesn't really count, but that was my best time just recently.
It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota. Attention truck lovers, have you been Tundra struck? The powerful and dependable Toyota Tundra is the new definition of grit. Ask us about amazing lease deals on a 2025 Tundra Double Cap SR 4-wheel drive, and experience ingenious levels of capability, technology, and refinement. Or maybe you're an SUV lover? Take advantage of a limited shipment of 2025 RAV4s and discover the perfect blend of style, comfort, and efficiency in a compact SUV that ignites your desire to explore. Right now, get excellent lease deals on the Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive and more. It's time to Toyota at North Bay Toyota, 640 McEwen, or online at northbaytoyota.com for details.
Well, that's pretty cool. We may have just spoken to an Olympian.
Very, Great interview from, very interesting and, one of those young athletes where you're just like, man, these kids are kicking ass. Like they really, and it was just great to hear everything that she does, the discipline, how she got into it. Really want to wish her luck and can't wait to talk to her and see how things go in nationals.
And she's going to University of Ottawa and physiotherapy, I think she said.
I think that's what she was interested in. Yeah. So, a lot of, and if we were just talking to her and she'll be able to, hopefully come back and we'll have lots of swimmers that want to follow in her path.
Yeah, she's very soft-spoken, very, very polite, very nice young woman. So the Titans, check out their website and maybe sponsor them, help them along because we got an athlete here that's coming up that might do big things, and she's got that Open in Edmonton, a Canadian Open, later on in April.
Yep.
That was great. It was good to meet
Josh,
new Josh, a new coach, and seemed to be very serious and on the ball. Right?
Yeah.
He had when I was asking him about his competitive thing, because I'm looking at him and thinking he looks like he's built for badminton,
yes,
right, or something like that, and of course. Certain physical attributes for the swimming sports and height is obviously part of it.
Hard to be a 5'4" goalie and really go far when they could just shoot over your shoulders. And I got to say kudos to Josh for recognizing that. Not every athlete understands, that maybe my path has to go a different way. Getting himself involved in coaching, volunteering, learning, being mentored, and now teaching a new generation of swimmers. Like that's what it's all about.
Yeah, so all the best of the Titans, and maybe we'll be doing some more coverage of them. It'd be great if we had an interview while she's out in Edmonton.
Yeah. Looking forward to hearing that.
Curling's a hot topic these days, and the North Bay Granite Club celebrating this year their 75th anniversary. There's actually a story going in the Back in the Bay magazine that outlines its full history.
Yeah.
It actually was being played in North Bay. It was the first curling rink in Northern Ontario in 1892.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of interesting detail, but it was in the 50s, 1950, when they built the Granite Club.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good history there. Recently, the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame Awards for curling is going to Jamie Graham. Good story about that. That's I think it's in the Bay Today and the Nugget, and you'll see that around there.
Yeah.
Interesting story.
It is a really interesting story. Just sitting here and picking out some of the things. Obviously, it was very involved with the World Curling Championship and having that here, which was a great event for North Bay. It started as a junior curler, went through the ranks in North Bay, went off to University of Queens and was a curler there, and then moved to Toronto for work and was on a very famous, curlers are not always necessarily so well named, but he played with Ed Wernick. I believe the nickname was the Wrench. And, Jamie and his wife Pat helped organize the mixed sectional and everything at the club that they were at, the Dundas Granite Club. And then, lucky for us, moved back to North Bay after that time and heavily involved with the curling at the Granite Club and teaching in Nipisson's practicum program for phys ed. So, really well-deserving and a great article that I think you should really take your time and have a little read through.
Yeah, and the awards are going to be at the Davidi Club on May 3rd. And if you like to support curling and someone like Jamie that's getting an award, good place to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. I know we've got a table for the store. I just think it's something that I need to be a part of with the store. Like it's just such a good natural tie. And I love learning about all of these stories. And, it's nice to bring those back into the spotlight because sometimes it falls off pretty quickly. And so it's nice to remind everybody that's here today how we got here.
Well, if there's a late cancellation, I'll take a plate because usually when I go, I'm stand there, I record, and I leave because I can't really afford it, and I don't. So if you got an extra place,
I think
I'll sit
we'll
with
definitely
you.
have the podcast there, and
There
we
we
can
go.
report from after. That would be great. I love it. Let's do it.
Well, we're going to give an update on the Team Winters out in PEI at the U20, and it's going to be short and sweet. They're 0-4.
It's again, we talked about this going out. They are going to be like the youngest competitors there.
And, they're all U16.
Yeah, so lots of chances to get back there. And I mean, this is the type of experience that they're going to be able to build on. And I'm sure they're playing with some other great curlers too, so I'm sure they're learning a lot.
Well, I'm sure they're representing Northern Ontario, and everybody's going to recognize that these are future stars at U16. They won the U18, right? And they most recently the Bonspiel at the Granite Club. So I'm sure they're supported and well encouraged, and it won't be a very sad time for them. They're learning everything, I'm sure. But back to sport that we're a little bit more familiar with. Yeah. The Can-Nip men's basketball championships are going to start on Sunday. It's going to be Team Green, the Trojan guys, and a few others up against DeMarco Lucenti Insurance, who they beat out Dark Horse Comics in the semifinals on Sunday. I got a little bit of video of that. I didn't get there for the first game, but I was told that Blue had a chance.
Okay,
they actually tied it up at one point, but Green was running and gunning a little bit more than the young guys.
I like this Team Blue, Team Green concept too. I think it could be, they might be onto something. You could just have color teams, and everybody's excited to talk about the history of Team Green.
Yeah. Well, I think if they got a sponsor, they might change the name, but
we'll have to help them out with that maybe.
Well, I got some details from the game here, though. The green team, 78, blue team, 64. High scorers for the green team are Dustin Anthony, 24, Sam Levac, 11, Sean Humphrey and Mike Costello, both with 10. And on the blue team, John Campbell had 19, Nick Marceau, 17, and Declan Dupuis, 16. The results from the DeMarco Lucenti Insurance game, they scored 99 points against Dark Horse Comics' 79. I left at half because I figured that was going to be the score at the end. DeMarco's Joey Pudister, 27. Interestingly, the first half, I didn't see him hit one three-pointer, right? So he was a little bit off there, so I thought maybe they might have some right. Mike Dupel, 24. Jean Lepin and Tyler Gravel, both with 15. Dark Horse Comics, Trice High, 27 points. Justin Bedroffi, how's that?
That sounds good.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He got 22, and Trevor Mayhew, 17. So the game, the championship, is at 6:30 at Canadore. First place DeMarco Lucenti Insurance against second place Green Team.
And then that also leads into, I guess, in preparation for the championship, you can check out the Ballers 3-on-3 tournament that's being held up at Canadore all weekend. So it's going to be great people from coming all around the province to participate in it, and should be some really great basketball and a fun, different look when it's watching 3-on-3.
So our heritage moment this week is going to be the Laurentian Ski Hill. One of our viewers actually reminded us that it was a 100th anniversary this year for them.
Okay.
Because the first Laurentian Ski Club was formed the same year the city incorporated in 1925. There's actually a little bit of activity skiing before that, and it's been... Laurentian's had the ups and downs as far as it's the Ski Hills operation. Its popularity has come and ballooned up in the 70s. I actually did a historical feature on the Ski Hill for the Bit of the Bay magazine when we had it right before COVID hit, and it was the January edition. And we covered a lot of it, and I'll read a little bit from it because it's interesting. In the 70s, they really surged in popularity. And Nancy Green program, Jungle Jim Hunter, the success of the Crazy Canucks, Dave Irwin, Dave Murray, Steve Podberski, and Ken Reed helped make a huge impact on skiing. And memberships surged at that time, 1,350 in 1966 to more than 4,000 by 1975. That's how big of a surge it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. That's when they expanded to Mount Antoine in Mattawa.
Yeah, I mean, again, not being from here, so knowing all the history, I'd always heard about Antoine. It was closed when I first moved up here. Been fortunate enough to go back and ski it now that it's open. And while the two hills are not together anymore. Again, we just have some incredible skiing. I grew up in Collingwood, so I was really fortunate from an Ontario level for access to skiing. But I mean, the fact that we have a ski hill that's on a bus route is pretty incredible. So such a great opportunity for kids to learn the sport and get access to it. And then if you as you get older and looking for more of a challenge and longer runs, Mattawa has some of the longest runs in all of Ontario. It's like having a private ski hill. I have to say, like, we only got out once this year, but in Collingwood, there are private ski hills along Blue Mountain, and people pay thousands of dollars to be members of that. And, part of why you would be on a private ski hill is you want to avoid the long lift lines. Blue Mountain on a Saturday, if you're a local, you never went near there because there'd be an hour lineup just to get up the hill. And Mattawa, it's just down the hill and up, down the hill and up, have a great beer on the patio and really great skiing there. And, again, Laurentian, just a great little thing for us to have in town.
I actually had the pleasure of meeting some of the boarders that went to, and they have an annual in that Mount Antoine, and they got a Airbnb just outside. I think it was Taggart Lake there. Okay. Oh, what a party. Yeah. Oh, my God. Right? These snowboarders are, a different breed. Yes. For sure. They all brought guitars and drums, and so it was a wild party. And imagine a wild time on the hill. They made a special tea that we all had, and that was very interesting. Good, yeah, and good times. But they were coming from all over Ontario, Ottawa, and a few places down south. And I know guys from Sudbury that go for day trips into Mattawa for the skiing. So it's a great hill there. And the Laurentian, they must have had a great season. Have you heard this year?
I haven't heard. I know, again, I think a new management kind of looking after both some really great snow and then an abrupt end to it. It's always, they're trying to get everything in. But I know my kids were getting up there, before the March break, and there's some snow days. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I think it was a good year for the hill. It seemed to be, when they can get those camps in and stuff, that usually helps them. I think they need some help from the city on the water bill. Mm-hmm. It's hard to make that snow and have to pay all of that. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I know that's always been a bit of a sticking point. And, I think even if you don't use it, you still benefit from the people that do, like you said, come from Sudbury or drive up from, between here and Huntsville to take advantage of it. So I think it's one of those things that we as a city need to maintain and make sure we have it, because when we lose it, we're really going to wish we had it back.
I haven't checked the details of the city budget. I know there was an item that was discussed about the city actually retaking over the ski hill, and I'm not sure how that's going to go. And maybe in the fall, they're going to have a big splash for their 100th as part of the centennial. I haven't heard anything yet. But, great. The city's celebrating its 100th anniversary. The ski hill, the club's celebrating its 100th anniversary, and a lot of history here. I think the debate is that, it's a worthwhile asset for the city, and something that most cities don't have, and a big drawing card. Yeah. So I know that it's well respected and appreciated here by most people.
Mm-hmm. And, I don't know, maybe there's some outside help, just hearing all of those sort of struggles. It's like, how can we use that hill maybe more? What kind of, can we expand a rental program or something to get kids a chance to try it, especially at a young age? It's easy when you're young because you can fall and bounce back up. When you're older, you're a little more concerned about where you're falling. So, just to give that experience and get as many kids out there trying out the sport.
I think maybe they should have kept Cam Graham there when he was managing it. It seemed to be doing well.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure. Well, maybe we should have somebody from Laurentian on, and we can talk about how great it is and where it's going.
Tell us what's great. Tell us where their pain points are and what the struggles are, because maybe somebody listening to it might be able to hear something and realize that they value it as well, and maybe they can help. So, we'll have to reach out.
Good way to wrap up a good season of snow.
And so, last we'll play a little clip from Monday night's Junior Lakers Senior Women's Hockey Championships, and Laura Mady getting the trophy. And it was a lot of fun to just kind of went out and watch the game. And it's great to see there's a real mix of girls out there. So, I mean, Laura, former Laker, Maddie Soleil, also on the team, Kara Jeffries, lots of other girls. Sorry, I don't, former Ice Bulls.
Was it a
former
stacked Lakers team at one?
No, I mean, there's a really great mix. Like that's so to anybody, my wife's
Was it a
actually
competitive final?
It was very competitive. It was a 2-0 game. It was back and forth.
Okay.
And, some great, lot of, a few parents coming out to watch the kids and friends and family kind of watching. So there's a bit of a crowd in Ferris, which is always fun. Referees being involved. And, it really was a really positive, great thing. Like I said, I'm happy. I know those women in Powassan have been doing that for a while, but this is just kind of a bit of a next level of having more of a league to play in. Mm-hmm. And, again, just that transition for those girls that have aged out to get to keep playing. So loved seeing it. It was a lot of fun.
Did Mady make the score sheet?
I think she set up a goal. I didn't get the score sheet from it, but no, she's the captain of the team there with the trophy. It was a lot of fun. They just really enjoyed it. I loved watching it. So
right on. Well, you got to enjoy that, and it's good to see them out there doing that. I'll have to check it out next year.
Yeah. We'll make sure. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to have to get those standings or something included and another league to monitor and keep an eye on. So, yeah.
Right on. Well, that's been our Sportscast number 28. I hope you enjoyed it.
I'm Paul McLean.
And I'm Dave Dale. Please like, share, and comment. Those really help the algorithm. And the more views, the better. Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care.